Hi guys, I'm Alex Mack. Welcome, assholes, to Call to the Action podcast. We're pretty psyched to be here. Tell me who is everyone that's joining me in this awesome conversation today. Danny?
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, episode 30. What's up, guys?
Can't believe we're already here. It's awesome. Yeah.
Episode 30 in the house. We got Dylan Camacho in the house. Unintentionally wore green today. Totally forgot.
Mm-hmm. And Kylo Ren is here with us today, too.
I mean, what is Call to Action without a little Kylo action? I mean, right there. Although, I don't know if he's really Kylo if he has a shirt on. So
That's true. Thick
yeah,
boy
maybe
Kylo.
over that black robe. Maybe that's a little more lifelike then. All right, awesome. So we're going to do a quick recap of some of the episodes that debuted from this past week. We had two really great debuts from Demi Adejuyigbe. I'm butchering his name. Someone please
Let's just say Demi.
Yeah. Demi
I'm so sorry.
Adejuyigbe.
I hope you're listening. I pray you're listening, but I am so sorry. I will practice in the future. And Liz Shannon Miller. And also I think better match of the two, the Korruption versus World Finest. So let's go ahead and get started with some of the talking about the babies. The babies, Liz versus Demi. There was a really solid match overall. It was a debut match of these two brand new players, although one had a really good segue in from Ethan Irwin, former singles champion, and who knows, future next team champion or something with Janine, who knows? But he keeps saying that, this Liz Shannon Miller, she's lightning. She's going to come in hot. She's better than him. She trains with him, so she's someone to look out for sure. This is her debut and versus Demi. He's never been on before. I haven't really seen all too much of him prior, except on Twitter, where he's called the Electric Lemon. So that's a pretty dope name, I'm not going to lie. But, Dylan, tell me, what did you think about Liz and Demi? What was your first impressions?
I think they actually both came in really hot on this on that match. They started really well in the round one. I think Liz, short of what actually she did this match, I mean, she needed to come in with this much heat because of coming in with this Ethan Irwin tag, the next Ethan Irwin.
No pressure, right?
Right, yeah. And of course, she didn't get 100% perfect and didn't go all the way through that. So I think the expectation bar is set way too high. But realistically, as a rookie, she did great.
He had a nearly almost pretty perfect first round. She would hit 7 out of the 8. I know you're really much better with the numbers. So I mean, what did you think with her first match?
Oh no!
Sorry. Yeah, Danny.
No, I was gonna say she's pretty solid. I think it both ended 6 and 7 or something in the first round. So yeah, but I like Demi's enthusiasm. I think Liz was just seemed a little nervous. I mean, you being named the female version of Ethan Irwin would make anybody nervous. But I think once she got past the initial first round and everything like that, then she started picking up.
Oh no, totally. I mean, she's definitely someone that she is a force to be reckoned with. I just want to punch her in the face because I'm like, get away from me. But you can't deny, woman has so much knowledge under her belt, and we've definitely was just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. And same with Demi. I think it was just nerves kind of got to him a little bit more so than Liz. But I feel like he was a lot more confident in his his personality on air, not on air, but I mean through the interactions and everything.
As a competitor.
As a competitor, thank you. Yes. I think he was definitely much stronger as a competitor with his personality and, just going back and forth with Christian and Rox and everything, which was neat to see. But at the same time, he did lose just barely, but they were neck and neck for a long, long time, overall. So I was pretty excited about that. So I know you mentioned, Danny, I know you mentioned on here, Harloff's nicknames.
Yes.
Tell me about what are some of these nicknames? Am I missing something? What's What's going on
great
here?
umbrage. I take great umbrage with this. I have an issue, Mr.
Yeah, well,
Hoff. I mean, I think the
I
names
want
are
to
just
go
kind of
fuck a
lame.
duck, Christian. I mean, come on. The world does not revolve around you. But yeah, some weird names are coming up. Well, do you have a favorite?
Yeah. Do I have a favorite, or do I want to rename? If I could recast everybody's names, I would recast.
You know
It.
what?
I
I
always
want to hear
hated.
both.
Well, I always hated
either. It's
I
all
always
good.
hated I always hated Andrew's Dastardly Drew. I always thought that was kind of like not that creative, but now it's kind of grown into me a little.
I'm a fan of the alliteration there, but I think that some of the alliteration gets sacrificed.
But it's like Paul's primetime Paul. It's like everything is alliteration. He's obsessed with like, oh, let's just match it with a generic name. So
Yeah.
If I have Johnny Smoke, it would be like Delightful Daniel or Deadly Daniel, and Dylan would be like
Daring Dylan.
Dylan.
I'm sorry to say it. Well, you know what? I'm not sorry to say this. But the Dastardly, Dastardly guy is probably still hands down the best one. Am I biased? Maybe, but it's still like it has like has a little oomph, has a little something extra, so to speak. Maybe
it's grown on me.
Though. Yeah, it's for sure. But he's also tackled people, and he's done a lot of weird shit.
Now he's earned the name to be Dastardly, though. But before it was just like, kind of just like, it's kind of. You
hold your tongue. Oh, punch you.
No, but I mean the beginning. I'm saying in the beginning, like I was just like.
I stand by that. You hold your tongue.
I want you to like. Some of these people don't get these nicknames. It's like Lightning Liz. She wasn't that fast, so Lightning Liz.
Yeah, like I don't know how Lightning is supposed to translate as a name to begin with. Like if there's a speed round or something, sure, that would make sense. But Lightning, I was just like, okay,
that's like calling her Lucky Liz or something.
I actually would have liked Lucky more. Now that you bring that up,
I feel like Stacey Howard would probably be more lucky. Considering her history, where she would be like, I don't know, 13 or whatever, and it would be the right answer or whatever it be.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan. That correct?
Yeah.
Somehow she would win. Pulling that shit out of her ass. I mean, totally. As I'm hoping we're gonna get, since it was her first time, I'm hoping we're gonna get a little more creative in terms of names. Maybe she created that name. Maybe she didn't. Who the fuck knows? But then again, who the fuck cares until she gets a little more confident on that screen? Alas.
Yeah. Who should we have reverse?
We're gonna come up with something a little bit better.
Next, though?
Absolutely.
Who do you want her to? Who do you want them to verse against?
Who's next?
Match? Exactly. Now, I personally would really love to see. I might think this might be a little soon, but I honestly would like to see Lon Harris. Against. I honestly would like to see him against Paul Oyama or against Liz. I think so. I know it's soon again, but he's lost his last several matches. He's kind of like a B player right now. But that being said, I think with considering how much potential she has, considering how awesome Smets was with IG, and how like bam Paul was, how lightning fast he was, I feel like he can kind of go up someone with a little bit more experience. Dylan, feel to correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they can go up to something a little bit more top notch. What do you think?
I think between the two of them, you're looking at Liz as far as just you're wanting to recreate that magic between Ethan and Lon match and giving it a Liz Lon match. I think I'm not blind to that. I see that the potential is there, but it's too soon. You need to have the rookies fight off against the rookies a little bit more. You're proving
that's true. You got to work for it. We're not going to hand you a belt if you have a few kick-ass runs. Am I right?
Everybody can have one.
Maybe Stacey. Maybe Stacey. Actually, I want Stacey and Liz.
Stacey? Howard?
Stacey's pretty high up there right now.
Too. No. I will fight you on this.
Yeah, Lacey. Stacey is she's higher ranked than Lon is right now from last time.
Now I have to go double check. Okay, she's pretty well ranked considering. Especially
but I mean, I just want her to have that. I want her to have like a good opponent for once because she's always stuck with these like she's stuck with RB3 and stuff. I want her to go against someone.
She did get some softballs last season. Like her record is inflated.
I want her to have I want her to finally get recognition, be put with actual good competitors. But she's never been.
She is technically ranked above Bateman.
Yep, she is ranked 10. No.
Ben Bateman. No,
ranked 10. She is ranked 10.
I disagree with that ranking. I wonder how they came up with that. Well, she has 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 KO. Ben has 4 losses and 4 wins and 1 KO. By those numbers alone, I feel like she would be ranked higher technically.
Yeah, but I think it's they probably weighed it with a handful of things they've said before, and looking at Ben's opponents versus Stacy's opponents, Ben has had tougher opponents in the past compared to Stacy, who did have, as Dan was saying, like RB3.
But you know what? Fuck him. So,
yeah, you're fucking right. Fuck that guy.
He can go for himself. So regardless. But we do put a lot of these, it's like ranked right above her. We have Rachel, we have Jeff, we got Ben, I mean, we have Clark. I mean, these are arguably the best players ever. You know, she's ranked right above, you know, Guy, Kalinowski, Lon Harris and everything. But honestly, I mean, she's definitely ranked. I mean, she is, you know, one of the top players. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, Makuga was in the top 10 because only he's played like 30 matches.
Well, also, once upon a time, he saw a Yeti, you know, and he got lost in the Mongolian mountains.
It was small foot.
It
was LeBron James.
Shit happens. Weird shit happens all the fucking time.
What about
Demi? I want him to go against Winston.
Yeah, I think that would be solid. Rosie Knight.
No, I don't.
Speaking of a name we haven't heard this season, what do you guys think about that? Rosie Knight against Liz. She's 1-0 in singles.
Rosie hasn't won. She's played 2 matches now, and she hasn't won once.
She apparently won her singles division.
No, I can see her other ranking there.
Yeah,
she lost in her kingdom.
Who does she win against?
She beat Matthew. She beat the Patreon guy, Matthew or Matt. She lost in.
Come on, that's not a win. That's a handout.
Yeah, that was a charity case.
What the fuck? Come on.
Hey, now. We gotta look at this way, though. There's an argument that the rookies are all handouts in their single matches against other rookies, though, too, except for David Del Rio, who beat Whitney Siebel. He's the only rookie so far who's beaten a tested player. So other than that, coming in this season. So,
you know what? I stand corrected. Technically speaking, I just remember watching Rose and being she
bored.
He has but I mean she has a hard time answering questions. During any of them, she was struggling all the fucking time. Even when she did Star Wars, which is her forte. You know, that's supposed to be her thing. That's what
I remember the Geek to Match being a lot stiffer. On the flip side, though, I almost want to give a pass on the Star Wars stuff because anymore, that shit is so deep. That is rough.
But she's also a co-host.
But she's on a Star Wars show. Jedi Council.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's coming in trying to be all evil. And then
you can know a little bit better if you're hanging out with Ken Knapsack and Joseph Grimshaw, who apparently they're besties. You know, you should be probably a little more aware of what you're coming into, though. I mean, come on.
Fair. And we haven't seen or heard of her.
I just find her character.
I'll be
right because I found her character really
annoying. Computer charger real quick. You guys chat.
Here's an interesting thought there, Danny. What if, because there's 40 competitors in free-for-all, we're scratching our heads over all of these ones, and I mean, we haven't heard from Rosie Knight. Kevin Smith, yes. God, we are so on that bandwagon. I'm so stoked. That'd be amazing. We'll do a whole separate episode about that if that's the case.
Yep.
But I think these characters Rosie could come back in.
I don't know if Rosie's. That's a good question. Who?
Rosie
haven't we seen him
for play against Haibon for a minute?
Yeah, I forget.
Jared.
He calls him out, and he like sometime over the holidays or the fall or something a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, kind of we do need. Now that being said, we go from these brand new rookie matches. We're trying to have them go against these other rookies. I mean, it seems like we're trying to like run out of rookies, but we need
the Hunger Games Rookies Edition, essentially.
The rookie Hunger Games, essentially. Yeah. Now that being said, when you see a lot of these rookies, you kind of realize just how good, how good some of these alumni players are, how effective they are. You kind of realize, holy shit, Kalinowski, so awesome. And how underappreciated like Winston and Zipper is. Now that being said, that's why I was really pretty psyched going into this Korruption versus the World's Finest match. Now, I was surprised to see right off the bat that World's Finest was technically supposed to be the underdog. Now, I mean, just because based off score alone, not taking into consideration who they've been up against in the past, their history in general. I was just taking that in consideration how everyone was like, obviously, Korruption's gonna win. It's a given. But in reality, World's Finest did have a better score history. So with that being said, I mean, what do you guys like think right off the bat? Like, did you guys think Korruption was gonna be a given because Kalinowski had the belt? I mean, had the IG belt. I mean, because Chance. I mean, he was knocking it out. I mean, and World's Finest, we haven't really heard of them in a minute. So, what do you guys think? Coming into this next big match.
I don't know. I still think Chance has to prove himself a little bit more. You could see there's still stuff that I feel like Kalinowski is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that team.
You think so?
Yes.
I think it's been a very match-pending thing with that, though, too. This match, I felt maybe a little bit more Kalinowski, but that's not surprising considering how not rusty he is. I mean, he's just been on a roll, and then these intergeekdom matches, and then going straight in to a tag team match. Like, he's got so much momentum, even coming from a loss.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people really underestimate him, which surprises me considering how consistent he is getting to the top tier. He's almost, what was I, when he lost to Cushing not too long ago, she kind of brought up, hey, I've beat you like 3 times, like 3 or 4 times. And you're like, oh shit.
Cushing got his number.
Like, he's lost. And she's won and she's lost. But at the same time, you're like, oh shit, that's a lot. And MTS and Movie Trivia Shimoda, that is a lot of matches to lose to one person. Just like how Ben, he's lost to fucking Clark every fucking time.
That's what he gets.
Rachel.
I mean, that's what you get.
We have
Hashtag Ben the bitch.
Nerds watch.
Let's make that happen, guys. So do you guys think, did you guys think, Dylan, did you think that Korruption was like the given right off the bat? Or did you think we really needed to give World's Finest a chance going into the match?
Definitely thought it was going to be a lot closer than what everybody was putting it off to be. Like I said, momentum was on Korruption's side with Mike having just all the really, really good matches and everything. But Winston came off a really good Patreon match with Jay Washington in that the Black History Month one. Zipper, even in the promo, Zipper put up a good point. He was just like, I came in as a rookie and I was completely overlooked. Like I did it really good that whole season. So they had a lot of steam to it. Like it was one of those things where it made the ending a little bit more upsetting for me because with the Zipper turn.
I have a very vocal cat. Sorry, go ahead.
With the Zipper turn at the end, I was just like, you could already kind of see it coming with him being so fired up at the beginning of this match, and I'm like, oh,
yes.
If he loses, it's over for that team, and I'm like, I don't want to see it.
He said, I'm going to tear this place down. Oh my gosh! But I've been excited. He's always been so energetic. He's always been so, he's always been the more vocal one of the duo, right? Winston, he does his big thing is the Batman voice. I was never all about it. I never liked it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was
I
a
just
little
kept
rough.
thinking like that looks difficult.
Cringy.
But it looked painful, yeah. But that, but then again, he's always been very consistent as far as, he's always played really good matches, I feel like Winston. When he does play, he plays well. But his matches are very few and far between, singles and team matches. I mean, that's why, Korruption's, they're just kicking ass and they're winning, and even sometimes they're losing and everything. But they're having matches, I feel like, all the time by comparison. Last time we saw World's Finest, I don't even remember.
The championship match against the Shirewolves.
Against the Shirewolves, right. Yeah. But I think that there's a bit of a bias.
Then we saw them. Then we saw them on their individual teams when Winston was with Stacy, and then Eric almost beat Korruption. I mean, Who's the Boss? I'm sorry.
The Boss, yeah.
They're the closest team to get to beat Who's the Boss.
Yeah.
Tournament. They're the only ones to take them to like the third round, basically.
Do we think that there's a bias there, though? Korruption had a whole storyline, so I think the people screen time you have because you have these storylines, you're much more likely to be favored in a match, just because we see them so much more with World's Finest.
But you know what? Like, they didn't expect Guy to win over Merle. So they rearranged it, and so I can't remember what it was called when they were like, it was like taking over the gods or something. Shit. I'm a bad fan. I need to remember this shit. There was that, and when he was taking over, when he beat Riley and he beat Merle, and then he was and then he
Champs Lunch.
Did that. But also, when similarly how they planned for Kalinowski to play up until go through the tournament naturally, and then he lost against Mara, and that was not supposed to happen. What was her third match by that time?
Yeah,
and she she was
it was Emma.
Emma, that Keaton, the redhead chick, Keaton.
Oh yeah,
that one chick. I felt so bad.
It was her fourth match. It was Emma, Keaton.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but you guys understand. She shouldn't have won against Kalinowski. She really shouldn't have, but she blew it out of the water. So, but they were like, no, this storyline is too awesome. We got to bring him back somehow, some way. So that's how they did the live event, and it was baller. Oh my gosh. But, so good. Now,
and that's how they brought in Grace too, because of the whole Korruption.
Exactly.
They wanted to, because they needed to have Roxy have a rival, which is awesome. Grace and Roxy.
That's true. There's a team of redheads, beautiful redheaded women, and there's a team of athletic-ish guys. I can't remember who's on.
A very handsome.
Yeah. Wait. Who's the athletic?
Roxy's team is the Odd Couple. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
These two men that look like they're 80 years old. Jeff, he's like 33 years old. He looks like he's 50. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, he's like in his early mid-30s.
He's like 34. Yeah. He's like almost our age. It's really sad.
So weird. Anyway, regardless, I'm gonna get flack for this, I imagine, because I'm an asshole. I'm not gonna lie. But regardless, Roxy, I feel like she's been a solid manager. She's been very vocal of her support for her team, regardless of who it was. I was a little disappointed where she was like so surprised that Kalinowski lost. When Kalinowski and what's his face lost, and he ended up turning heel. She was so surprised. She was so surprised. She does this very innocent, victim mentality kind of thing, and I'm like, you should have planned this. You should have known better. Come on now.
They were up against, who was it again, guys? Who did they lose to?
Exactly.
Team Action. fucking Ben's a traitor. You heard it here first.
Wow. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I had some little extra sound effect there. But yeah, so I mean, Roxy, she's a fine manager, you know, but Grace is not a manager though. Is she? She's more like a mascot.
She's like she's a co-manager.
Yeah, she's like co-manager for. Yeah.
They're like the first couple.
She's basically Beyonce of the group.
It's
just less talented.
Is this going to be House of Cards without all the background drama? They're just going to be a sweet power couple throughout the whole Schmoedown?
You know what? I hope so.
I like that.
I actually like them. Honestly, I'm surprised they haven't created like some kind of movie trivia Schmoedown couple. Like, well,
they are.
Like if they were comfortable with it, like Mara and Dan. That would have been so good. Like they could have had little promos of them training together. It would have been so cute. But well, I'm sorry. I like romance.
They could have had like a montage of studying sessions.
I want more of that.
So like Richard Marx in the background,
or someone can talk about Coke butter in the background.
I don't think that there's a bit of romance in this whole league right now, more than the odd couple. Get a person who cheers for you, like Snyder did whenever he found out that Draco was his partner.
Oh my gosh! The genuine love.
Yes.
Yeah, the genuine love they have for each other. Like remember when it was like during the free for all and Draco like knocked out all these champs and Jeff was a run. And Jeff was the one to come out and be like, yeah. Oh my gosh. Now that's true, bro love. It is right there.
So what you want about the action split up or any of the other ones? Snyder, say what you will, he won't. He's all emotion.
I like that about him though.
I do too.
I really do. Like he's that's why I like about on like Collider, on like whenever I like jump on Collider Live or something or their podcast every once in a while. He's just so passionate and he loves the Schmoedown. He really and he genuinely loves it. You know. I mean, okay. Weird little question. If you could have a roommate, a Schmoedown character roommate, not how they are in real life. Like you couldn't have Guy in real life. You had to have his character be your roommate. Who would it be?
Makuga.
Makuga? Why? Tell me.
We're in the same fraternity.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool. So you can bond over your symbols?
Yeah, we could do our secret handshake and talk about our good war stories. Yes. Not only that, I think he'd just be fun. We would just have fun stories together. And I think he'd just be chill.
And by extension, we have all these free Wildberry shirts. I mean,
from TeePublic, and that's like a gift from God himself.
Oh my gosh, just all over the place. Awesome. Okay, what about you, Dylan? Who would be your movie trivia Schmoedown character roommate?
This is very niche, but I'm gonna go with Mark Donica. And here's why.
Tell me why.
All right. So Donica came out to a band. His intro song is "The Proto Men," which is a regional band out of Nashville. Whatever that first got me on board with it. That we've talked about that in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown group, and I just adore him for that. That aside, huge nerd, big guy. I know I'm gonna feel safe. Nobody's breaking in. I have the Enforcer as my roommate, and God, and he's just a big old nerd. Like, what's not to love about that? You can just sit there and bounce like that.
So awesome. I'm hoping
he's Action Army too.
With him soon.
He is Action Army too. Donica knows. He knows what team to play for.
Yep.
I hope so. I really want to see him play here pretty soon. It's breaking my heart a bit that we haven't seen him or just heard from him in general in a bit. So I'm hoping that'll change here pretty soon though. Now, I would have to say I have a tie between two characters. Now, one would be Emma Fyfe. One because of our love of Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Comics. Good. I have actually. I don't know if you can see them, but I even have some of my favorite covers, Batman covers up there. Mm-hmm. So she would understand the references made throughout my house in general. But yeah, we both have very similar interests in we both have a very much of a big love of everything Studio Ghibli. So I'm all about that. But also number two, I feel like she would be my girl crush. You know, she's that. But also Stacey Howard.
Oh.
Because she brings out my inner bitch.
Your sassiness.
Sassy. You know, because, you know, I'm also like, I've been told I'm like low key bitch, but sometimes I really need to amp it up.
Do you do?
Right. Yeah, not to mention, I mean, if she was like over my shoulder right now, how much more of a bitch would I be? Oh my gosh. We'd be so fucking popular.
It'd be like Captain Marvel. You'd be a Captain Marvel bitch level.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a bitch. She just knows what she wants. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying Super Saiyan, like you would have go.
Oh yeah. He's saying your level would be on the charts.
I'm saying your level up to that power of.
Yeah. And not to mention we would just like have Echo play. Oh shit.
I think of all the entrances and like how like cool costumes you would have.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, we would just make a lot of Tim Burton references all the time. You know,
watch The Mummy on repeat.
I love that movie. Why does that movie not get more love?
Like because Stacey understands the truth.
Oh yeah.
That movie was like my favorite. Also, when I was like 10 when I was like I thought that movie was the shit. But you know, it's still a solid like action adventure. At least it's in my top 10 action adventure movies. At least.
Top 10.
Yeah, of course. Excuse me?
That's interesting.
It's also more about sentimental value. It was one of the first movies that kind of really introduced me into the genre. Keep in mind also, Armageddon is not on the list, but that's on a separate list. That's on my disaster movie list.
I like Armageddon. I have a soft spot for that movie. Mine is the animal cracker scene, which I still find pretty weird.
I like Aerosmith.
When I was a little bit.
I can look past
I like Aerosmith, but I'm just saying the animal scene when he's like crawling on her body with the animals.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay, I remember what you're talking about now.
It was really cringy.
Yeah, it's the little.
He's like, I'm gonna go down south. Ha ha ha.
I know.
I'm gonna climb the mountains, which are your bosoms.
So, Movie Trivia Schmodown, guys. This is a podcast show related to Movie Trivia Schmodown.
Awesome transition there, Daniel. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay, now we just kind of finished. Okay, wrapping up on Korruption and World's Finest. I was very excited to see Korruption. We're going to continue with them. I'm hoping they're going to win some more amazing matches, and I would love to see them versus the Shirewolves. That would be baller. Oh yeah. Now, but that being said, the results of this match gave Zipper a heart attack. Not literally, of course, but he went fucking nuts. He went crazy. Winston, you know, he like suddenly he was like, oh shit, this is getting real. And he said the famous quote, I have to go find my friend.
Yep. That's a top 10 anime betrayal for sure.
Yeah, top 10 anime betrayals.
It was up there. When you said that for a second, I thought of Infinity War because like I don't want to die, and I was like, it reminded me of that for a split second. I was like, wait, but oh my gosh, that was rough for a good minute.
It did not feel too good after that match. That is for sure, folks.
Not even kidding. But that mean
Thanos snapped half of World's Finest.
Mm-hmm.
They came out they came out to the Avengers theme. Nothing ever comes out well with people wearing Captain America.
Oh my gosh, that's true. He snapped and one of them's gone. Look at that.
Well, he snapped for sure.
But notice how everyone who's wearing Captain America has had trouble because that was when Kalinowski he was wearing that Captain America outfit and that was when he was doing terrible.
Are you saying Captain America is cursed?
In the Schmodown, yes.
I think Captain America is cursed. Danny's got a solid point. Kalinowski, that was the last time he ran as a hero thing. Zipper, that was the last thing he's ran as a hero.
And both of them had meltdowns and went crazy.
I see.
What if Zipper starts
Very good observation. I wonder if anyone else has made that observation either. Okay,
Zipper.
now obviously now it's cursed. Captain America is cursed. Never bring it up. Never talk about it. Never dress like him ever again. Just make that note. Zipruption.
Yep, it's starting. It's a new storyline. Zipruption.
We need to make that happen. So now that being said, we have a broken team. World's Finest is not a thing anymore. They are gone, or should I say, zip. So are we? Is Winston going solo? Is Zip going solo? Are they going to be on individual teams? Danny, what do you think is going to happen to poor Winston? And then Dylan, I'll ask you about Zip. Okay.
Yeah, I think Winston. I don't know what we're gonna hear from Winston. I even put that in notes. Is this the end of the Batman voice guy? But
biggest question.
No, but everyone keeps saying on the interwebs that they think Eric Zipper is going to go to Korruption, but I don't know. I feel like he hates Kalinowski. Every single time he's always talking about how he can't stand Kalinowski all the time. So it just wouldn't make sense for him to go there. I don't know why people think that's like his number one choice. If anything, it'd be funnier because Stacy and Winston have had history, so that he could actually be Stacy's partner. But that wouldn't be as interesting to me. I would rather have him go somewhere else.
It's a little too obvious.
I'd rather have him team up with somebody else, like randomly, maybe like a newbie, maybe some newbie. But Zipper, I don't know. I don't know who he'd be with. That's what I've been trying to go over since the.
Well, Dylan, do you have any ideas of where Zipper's going to go next? There was a hint that Grace has been telling me the entire time. I feel like that might have, like you said, it might have been a little too obvious if he were to join Korruption. But what is your theory? So what's your theory, Dylan, on this?
Guys, it's not hard. All right, let me break it down for you. I've got the inside scoop.
Introduce it to me.
Here it is.
Just talk slowly.
Let me talk a little bit slower for you guys to understand the news scoop I'm going to break to you guys.
Okay, I'll try to keep up.
Zipruption is not happening with Korruption. He's not going for that. There's only one gang of players who deserve somebody of Zipper's caliber.
And who is that?
The 5. Well, the 3. Now it's the 4 horsemen. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Love it or hate it.
Fuck a duck. Fuck the horsemen. Oh, I'm so sick of that.
I don't want them to go to the pastures. That's what I want to.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Zipper's taking over no spot. No. Stick with me. Zipper's taking over no spot as that over-enthusiastic player. Okay, like Nose wasn't always that, but like that little dance thing going on, that's Zipper now. Okay? And then Intergeekdom. Here's the real kicker. You want to know who's taking over for Inman's spot?
Tell me.
You sure you're ready?
Is it? Are you saying it's going to be the Z-Man?
It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be him. It's going to, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know where I was going with that one. But Zipper is definitely taking over no spot.
You had some good climbing there. The suspense was going.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in terms of him joining Horsemen, I hate the Horsemen. I'm just because I'm so pro-action. By extension, I hate the Horsemen, so fuck them. But at the same time, in terms of like him actually joining a team, I would get it. But at the same time, I feel like he's a little too angry for that. I feel like he needs someone with a little more heel than a bunch of faces, if that makes sense.
I feel like there's nobody really left though, because we have the family, which they're not taking them.
What's the family? I keep hearing. I can't remember.
That's
Andrew. That's Drew Squared and Burnett. That's
Drew Squared.
Yeah.
Why
that's
is it
Andrew
Guy's family?
Because his name's Andrew. It's Andrew Guy, the 2 Andrews, and then Burnett.
Yeah, they went with the family.
That's what they dubbed it in the previews.
Mm-hmm.
They did the team match, they called them the family.
Yeah, I'm not in love with
it's kind of lean. I don't like that either.
Yeah, I'm not in love with it.
I don't know how I feel about that. But I mean, you have a solid argument. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, and I don't want it, but I hear you out. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. That'd be a solid argument there, but you're fucking wrong because
the Horsemen have been canceled.
Yeah, cancel the studio. Just drop the whole thing.
No, I'm saying let's just cancel the Horsemen. Fuck them.
I agree.
Just like, see this? Oh, wait,
they rejected. They even rejected the traitor. That's how low they are.
They don't have any champions anymore.
Nope.
They're all like a bunch of.
What about
Merle's champion? Yeah, Merle's champion.
He won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Merle's
is Merle really part of the Horsemen? Really?
Yeah.
I think Zip would actually be. Hear me out. I think he'd be awesome if he actually joined Scream Queens. Now, not as
Haley's partner.
Let me explain.
Okay.
I know you're backing me up here, Danny, and I appreciate that, but I'm gonna lay it down first. Okay. Now that being said, I think if they created their own faction where their focus is like teams, obviously, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna amp this shit up. He's like taking him there because they're such a fresh little team where he wants to go in and lead it. And where he's like, you know what? I'm going to take this, like, where our team is at like a 5 with my energy and my excitement and my history and everything. I'm going to amp you guys up to 50. Like, I think it can happen.
So are they going to just reform the team that they had in Anarchy and then just bring it all the way up with like the new character that Zip has now?
Well, I mean, I
wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, they were a great team.
I think they don't have to be like Haley Fausch wouldn't have to be on the same team as Zip. I feel like that would be a solid team player matchup as a team. But I know Haley would, as far as I know, I don't feel like she would really leave her current partner. I can't remember her name.
Caitlin.
Yeah. But the last 2 matches, she was like really iffy, and she just seemed really, I don't know, maybe she was not having a good day. Maybe the lights were getting to her. Maybe she was nervous on that particular day or something. But she just wasn't, she just doesn't seem like she was all there. So, she didn't really talk all that much during the interviews, post or after. And so kind of made me wonder, if maybe she's kind of weaning off. And it's Haley, she's still pretty consistent. What if this is just the transition process of her getting a new partner? I think it would be pretty solid. But, who knows?
I wouldn't hate that. I think they made such a solid team in Korruption, even if they did lose the first match. But I think that's one of the ones that we could see more magic with. Especially seeing Haley play against the Odd Couple, we've already know my feelings on that. Haley did a great job playing exclusively against the Odd Couple with 1 or 2 questions from Kayla.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope it's going to be, like, I don't want her to leave, but I would understand if she left.
I can see where they just go with faction and then they be the new team on that.
Yeah, you never know. Or she ends up just being like their single player because Haley doesn't do singles at all.
She hasn't done singles. Right? She was in Free Fall the one time. That was it.
Yeah.
She made her debut in Free Fall Part 2.
So if they were to decide that, I mean, if they were to come together where Zipper was a single to join Scream Queens, create some kind of faction or some shit, I'd be for it.
Speaking of redheaded partners, I'm going to transition into another redhead who is indeed looking for a partner, and that's Stacey Howard.
Is it that obvious, though? Is it that obvious? Like Zipper would, I don't know if he would ever join Korruption.
No, I'm telling you, he's not going to join Korruption.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stacey, no, I don't want. It doesn't make any sense because this whole time Mike was calling him Zippity Doodad and making fun of him the whole time and not knowing who they are, and he really doesn't even like. He never really liked Kalinowski. The whole time he was like eyeing at him and like really angry at him. So for him to just leave because Grace told him he was like special, I don't know.
I can see an argument being made where there's a scene where Zip is just like, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him. Here we are. Yep. And then he's just like, me and Stacey, we said we're going to be the next team champs. We're going to go ahead and let Mike and Chance do it first, and then we're going to take the belts from them. And I'm going to be the new king of Korruption.
In that case, I feel like it would be too crowded. Korruption would be way too big. Like, Kalinowski and Chance already is going to be a solid team. Stacy and her future partner, they're also going to be a 2-team. And not to mention, Kalinowski is going to be in IG. Stacy's going to be in single. Chance is going to be in single. It's too much for one faction. It's like almost like the Fife Club. They had they hit the sweet spot. I feel like
3 members and a manager is like where you want to be at. 2 teams worth of players, less the co-managers.
That's a lot for one faction. I don't care if you have two co-managers. I mean that's just too much. And I don't want to say that's too much story because I don't think there's such a thing. But for this one in particular, I feel like he would almost just be swallowed. His whole situation would be swallowed in. I don't feel like he has enough personality. I don't feel like he's big enough. I don't feel like personality to fit in with Korruption, if that makes sense. So I feel like he needs to try to branch in where he can shine with another group. Because if Kalinowski would glow. Knapsack would just take away the mic. Same with Stacy. Stacy has more.
Grace too. They're trying to be.
I mean, it's just
the Line Dance 2.0. So
exactly,
it just doesn't make any sense. It'd be like that time when Mark and Jacob decided to join the Lions Den, and you're kind of just like, why? That one time, that was really random.
Yeah, we've got enough factions now where we can spread the player base around.
Exactly.
But Stacy couldn't be maybe partnered up with somebody else.
Right. I mean, no matter what, she is going to have a partner. So.
And when do you think we're going to hear this announcement? Are we going to hear it during this next matchup between the title match with the Shire Wolves and the Critical Acclaimed? Or are we going to have to wait till like free for all to find out the answer?
I think we're going to get a little bit of hints during the free for all, but I think it's going to be announced like
a live event, maybe.
Yeah. Something's going to happen where it's going to be triggered.
Yeah, because by the looks of it, I think they want to have it be Korruption and Founding Fathers too, as long as Korruption wins well enough to get into Houston. I think they want to have that be the run back, and then that would make so much sense to just carry that team announcement into that one as well.
Well, they're playing the Wildberries.
Is that a finally announced? I haven't seen when that was officially announced.
He announced it on the episode.
I feel bad. Wildberries, they're really bad.
Yeah, but I mean, wild berries are good for live events, so that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, for sure. But when
against the Founding Fathers, that's gonna be rough, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, when who would say they were up against Only Stupid Answers for the live event, right? For the first live event,
no, Real Rejects.
Real Rejects. Thanks for correcting me. When that happened, it was actually like a really good match. It was like, what, 23-25 or something?
Yeah, it came down to 5 points.
But they're like similar skills, though. You're not going against a team champ, a singles champion, and like a former champion.
Right.
And Roka. The third round, both of them. I'm not saying you can compare them to the Founding Fathers or the Shire Wolves or anything like that. I'm just saying that we don't want to. It sounds like we are really heavily underestimating them.
Let's call it what it is. The live event with the Founding Fathers is just a match to bump up their record, to sit there and make them contentions for going up. That's what it is. You say Wild Berries against that? Listen, love the Wild Berries. And could they pull up the episode of the year? No. But it's just going to be a record, but all it is. They said, all right, how do we get their record to look better to validate them to get a number 1 contender spot? Wild Berries it is, live event.
But in a way, it's almost like weakening their skill because their victories that they had was against the Stacy team at the live event, and now they're gonna have a live event against the Wild Berries. So it's both of those live events they're going against kind of like mediocre teams. Like they're good teams, but they're not great teams compared to the two of them.
Right,
and that's why I kind of feel bad for. I don't like to discuss that. I don't feel bad, but like some characters such as Stacey Howard, when people were talking about how she was like 3-0 or like 3-4-1 for a long time before she lost. Before she lost to Dan. Janine? No, it was before that. She did when she won against Makuga. She won against Ellis. And it's just like Obviously. I mean, like, this isn't news. And everyone's talking about how, and technically, if she won another one, she would have gotten a belt match.
Yep.
And it's just like, you won against Mark Ellis, who hasn't played in like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And Makuga, who's drunk already, and it's 9 o'clock in the fucking morning.
And RB3, the
RB3, made his debut.
And suddenly, and you want to get a fucking belt? I'm sorry, if you play someone with if you played against Clark, I would be like, okay, shit's about to hit the fan. Or if you played against Lon Harris, if you played against, I'm hoping for, I can't wait for Janine because she's on my fantasy roster, so I need some fucking points. But seriously, Janine, especially, and Stacy, I feel like she's very underrated. But they lost in the triple match. When they both lost against Draco in the triple match, Janine was great. She was solid. She was great. And Stacy was out within the second round.
You brought Janine up. Now I'm thinking of Zipper. Remember, because the Viper squad is kind of dead now. What if Zipper winds up joining up with Janine and they form
Janine's with Ethan right now.
Yeah, she's with Ethan.
Yeah. But Viper squad is
that's arguably like the best, one of the top 5 teams they have right now, arguably, and they haven't even played yet.
Yeah.
Based on potential fucking alone.
Janine and Ethan is a pretty solid team to put together.
Yeah.
Wait, is Ethan going to be a teammate?
I can't wait for them to go up to play. I mean, it's solid. And not to mention, I'm really hoping that Ethan is going to bring out the best in Janine because...
Oh, they are a team. I forgot.
Yeah.
Obviously because he got replaced because he was busy that day. So then she got a new partner. I forgot about that.
Get your shit together.
Or fucking up this whole time. Good night.
The whole thing is ruined.
It's too late. It's over. It's almost
even
midnight.
My pet is angry.
All right, guys, do we want to start wrapping up doing our plugs, talking about our upcoming free-for-all and whatnot? Let's plug the show.
Before that, are we gonna make prediction about the champ title? Do you think?
Ooh, yeah.
Are we gonna get we gonna get a new champion? Or are we gonna get? Or Shireville's gonna keep their belt?
Alex.
Honestly, I'm hoping they do. I mean, just because, considering how hard it was for them, they're still getting shit for being like a team, even though they've already defended it once. They really kind of had an uphill battle. They didn't have all that much support from the fans. I really hope I want them to win again. My ideal situation is that they won had 4 defenses where they're put on the same level as the Patriots down the road. I personally think so. Just because, like I said, I mean, they had such an uphill battle, very little support. No one saw them coming. So I'm hoping they do get a chance. They do end up defending themselves pretty efficiently with winning. So, but I really love Critically Acclaimed. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think, Dylan?
Critically Acclaimed's getting wrecked. No, I'm kidding. I think it's going to get close. I think it's definitely going to be one of those last question games. But it all depends on how Whitney plays because I think Bibbs, he's shown that he can bring it. But I want the Shirewolves to win. I'm there with you. I want to see them really flesh out this legacy because it's absurd to think that they have people not cheering for them. That is such a killer team.
So stupid. I was actually in a group chat with my my fantasy league not too long ago, and they were talking about how they're totally gonna lose, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are we talking about the same Shirewolves?
Right. No, it's absurd. Shirewolves is a ridiculous team. And I hope they keep on winning. Mainly because if I want to see a team beat the Shirewolves, I don't want it to be Critically Acclaimed. I either want. Who would you
rather it being in that case?
I want to see Who's the Boss lose again, break up. I want to see the family play them, come close, and either Drew and Drew take it, or they lose, and then Team Action teams up, and then they take it.
I would love to see Who's the Boss. That would be like a real battle, internal battle. Against the Shirewolves, Who's the Boss, or the family. But that being said, I really need to see Bateman amp it up a little bit. Like, he's kind of like receded back a little bit. He's a little more chill. And I'm like, fuck that shit. Where is
I need Ben angry.
oh, fucking noise.
Yeah.
Stop. So
that's what happened when he threw Andrew under the bus. He lost.
Not just that. He was told by Christian he needs to calm his shit and not be so intense
to the girls in the shows.
Right.
I don't know if it was because they were the girls or it's because it was specifically Clark. I think it was like specifically Clark where he was told against.
I think it was a little bit mixed up.
I think it was also with Rachel too because she's also has her like anxiety issues and stuff. And she can't handle a lot of like that like smack talk and stuff. Like it breaks her down.
They're not like, huge smack talking people.
Like when something happens, like if somebody says something against her, like she doesn't deserve to be a Player of the Year contender or something, then she goes on Twitter and then had like a breakdown for that time.
Right. Which is, it's a hard thing to have it to be affected by fans. And it's a lot easier being a fan and not having that many people telling you that. But at the same time, like if Rachel or Clark just took a step back away from that, looked all that bullshit aside, and they just realized how damn good they are.
They should just concentrate on that they're like badass in their skills, and they should like worry about like one comment out of like all the many people who support her. There's maybe like one bad
but you have to remember that it goes really bad. I mean, seriously, it does suck in the league being a female. I just hate to say this, being cliche, but as a female player, even just being a female like fan, I mean, it gets really difficult sometimes. Not all the time. Not all fans are the same, obviously. And as there is in any fandom, there's a lot of toxic fans. But especially, I mean, it's just not their personalities to be like, eat shit. I would tell them to eat shit. But it's not their personality to be like, yo, fuck you, Ben. Clark's not going to do that. She's a fat, classy fucking lady. And same for Rachel. She's very calm. She's cool, collected. She's gonna not let shit rattle her. But that being said, when she's trying to calm her shit down, just kind of get mentally in the zone and everything, like how Roka has been doing lately. They make it seem like she's just not coming up with these comebacks. That's why how it's not as effective like for a live event. Because I remember when the live event came out with Shire Wolves versus Team Action, a lot of people really didn't like how the Shire Wolves weren't like amping it up. They didn't have a lot of personality to show for the event.
Mm-hmm. I was one of those people. I was one of those people though, because up until that time, they've only faced against the made up Dagnino team. Mm-hmm. And then they had World's Finest, which were still new at the time. So, like, they had no way to really show like their personality. Before that, they didn't do the Fight Club dress-up scene or anything like that. They just came out and they wore their Shire Wolf shirts, and it just meant like it was like, oh,
they can't just sell their shirts. They're throwing out candy and soap and stuff.
Yeah, they had their
but like the original entrances, it was just like, hey, let's buy our merchandise because we're women, like. Let's get a women's championship, and I didn't like that. That turned me off.
Also, if they did come out and like really be like aggressive about it, they would have gotten a lot of flack.
That's true.
No, well, not even aggressive, but just not even aggressive, but just wanted to just dress up and have fun.
Yeah, but not even just aggressive. Yeah, but just being vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sucks. It does. I mean, look at Emma McAllister.
It felt bad.
Like she's as vocal as she comes. Don't look all the shit she gets.
I do think at the end of the day, they played it as well as they could. I mean, they played it right. They sat there and they just waited till they get the belts. And they just said, look, we're champions. This is the league. Deal with it. Yeah. There's no women's league. There's no men's league.
Exactly.
Right. And I respect that a lot.
I like that they just finally kind of like put the blinders on and they just were like, we're determined to win this thing, and they went through with it. That was like what I wanted from them in the beginning. But at the beginning, they were just using them as like walking advertisements, and they're trying to say like, "Oh, we're pro women, so we just made the super team for women and stuff." But then you got once they started taking away that, and they just let them play, and you could just see that their two strengths complemented each other, and you just saw the powerhouse of who they were. It didn't matter like if they were if it was a male team or a female team, they were just a dominant team. That was all we were looking at, and that was all fans really wanted from the beginning.
I mean, that's why I really want them to prove themselves and like really kind of shut some fans up, and who knows what's gonna happen for sure.
But then again, critically acclaimed, so damn fun. I love their entrances. Dibs, you could tell like he loves the schmo. He loves
it's
schmo
like
down.
I do think
like he runs the website.
Does for fun.
He really goes into like the little entrances, like how Brienne used to do the entrances and really have fun.
Purge, I loved that entrance when they did that.
Mm-hmm.
He's been killing it recently.
And so,
yeah.
So in my heart, I would love to see critically acclaimed win, but I think in reality, I think it's going to be the Shirewolves, just because Clark and Rachel are beasts over in the speed round, and I don't think either one of them are going to like really do that. So I think in terms of just like the game skill, like they're all evenly ranked, like in terms of like knowledge, but when it comes to the strategy and the game, I think that's where the edge is going to go to the Shirewolves, and they're going to win there. And then I think we're going to get the Who's the Boss of Shirewolves in Chicago or wherever.
Dun dun dun. We'll see. All right. Well, awesome. Like, we're gonna see. I'm pretty excited. The upcoming match, this live event Saturday. I'm so ready to cry. It's gonna be fan-fucking-tastic.
What surprises are we gonna get besides Kevin Smith?
Besides Kevin Smith?
Yeah. Who haven't we seen in like a long time? It's gonna show up. JTE.
JTE is coming back. Yeah, I think this is gonna be his return.
I would love to see. I really want Janine back. I keep bringing her up. I really do. But she's just so passionate. She's so talented. She keeps bringing it. I was like having a moment, like watching her like behind the scenes thing where it was titled like "I Am Not Broken" or some shit, and I was like,
"You go, girl." I loved her.
Janine is fantastic.
She's like the best example of a fan making it.
Fan turning player.
Yeah. Because before that, she was like just designed her T-shirts, which were like amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys got to go check out her shirts and her designs to kick ass. But like, she really came in there and she like knows her skills, knows her movies, and she's like the perfect like fan.
Like, 100%. And
out of all the ones
really
that
want her to really get a good upset at some point.
And she loves being around everyone like at the live events. Like you can see the little girls like with them and families, and it's like really cool. Like at a New York event, they made signs of Janine and stuff. It was really cute. So but she didn't make it to the free for all last time. So to see her there would be great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping for. It really annoys me how they haven't like completely sold it out the event yet. Like, how is this fucking not possible?
And it's LA, guys. If I was anywhere in LA, I would have bought the first
fans. Like, how is this not complete? How wasn't this sold out within a few days?
Christian did just put up a post not too long ago that said they only have about 50 tickets left, so they've been selling still more. But I agree, that should have sold out
New York
instantly.
sold in 3 days.
But also a lot of Christian Mark, they said that LA is really different for a lot of events because being in LA, there's events going on all the time, and usually people wait very last minute. Especially it's also very industry focused where especially people in the industry, and they kind of wait last fucking minute. Go figure. But regardless, awesome. Well, I'm so excited to see this event coming in on Saturday. I'm so psyched. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Dylan, you the bee's knees. Danny, I always love chatting with you. Rockin' awesome. Where can we find you guys specifically?
Danny, lead the way.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter, DKPKP. It's DKPKP, or you can find me on Instagram. It's Danny_K22. I'm not really active on there, but feel free to follow me there. Also follow the Action Industries, their Twitter page. We're gonna have our revamped Call to Action podcast Twitter page soon. So, yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff. Ben Bateman Media, Andrew Guy. Check out the Action Guys podcast, and then Action Movie Anatomy. I don't know what they're doing but they did Captain Marvel last week.
Yep.
Yes, they did Captain Marvel last week with Roxy Stryer. That was awesome. They dropped a few little Schmodown nuggets, which I loved as well. Action Guides podcasts are available everywhere, and everyone should check them out. Please do that. A lot of really fun talks coming up here pretty soon. Dylan, what about you? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kamachtopus. I don't know how to. Let me just spell it for you. CAMACH Octopus. That is my last name with octopus right there. Yeah, that's all the syllables. You can also find me in the Facebook groups. You can find me in the Action Industries, the Team Action, all of the action groups, this Movie Trivia Schmodown group. You can catch me there. I will do opinions and shit all day about this stuff.
All day, every day.
You can always catch me here at this fantastic and soon to be much more revamped Call to Action podcast as well. Of course. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm specifically Alex Mack. You can find me on Instagram at Mac_Midori. Come check me out there. And also we're everywhere on the, Team Action, Action Army, Facebook page. We're also on Twitter. I'm going to be assisting with that here pretty soon. So it's pretty fun. But definitely check us out everywhere. But please like, comment, share, subscribe. We need all of it. And we need love.
And we see you, Andrew. Thanks for always tuning in every week and commenting. But we need more of you guys. So
we need more. Yes, we need to keep this going. We need some attention. We need some love.
I mean, we made it 30 episodes in without getting canceled. We're almost a year ahead. So thank you to all you guys for keeping this alive. It started off with just a few of us just wanting to do a shitty action podcast. We didn't really care. And now it's going into something really that we want to make into something like really nice, and maybe Senpai Harloff will notice us after we stop talking about your shit and everything. But he sees that we're a bunch of passionate people that really love it. So,
bunch of fans, bunch of love. All right, awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll be calling to action here sometime later this week. Bye.